Property Hotspots, brought to you by Lavelle Estate Agency.
Hello and welcome to Property Hotspots, where we show potential buyers around properties and get them to rate the local area as to how likely they'd be to move in. This week, we're going to take a small step back in time with cobblestone streets, fantastic architecture and boutique shops. We're going to try and find a home for our buyers here in Louth. Is a popular little market town situated right on the edge of the Lincolnshire Wolds, with its unique charm attracting people from all over the UK, with its quaint little shops and its ever popular farmers market providing locally sourced and produced goods. Not only that, but it's home to an array of top-notch and award-winning butchers, perfect for a good old Lincolnshire sausage.
Louth is set just at the foot of the Lincolnshire Wolds, with stunning countryside vistas in every direction. When you get into the town, it's easy to see what gives it its uniqueness. It's not just like any other generic high street you'll usually come across. Around 70% of the businesses in Louth are independently owned. There are, of course, a few chain shops, but it's places like department store Even Ranshaw or the Butchers, Lakings of Louth that really give this town its good old-fashioned feel. By keeping the town close to its traditional roots, yet still changing where necessary, Louth actually feels very refreshing to walk around. A little bit quaint, yet with towns all over the country trying desperately to regain their identity, Louth almost feels quite modern too.
What will your money buy you in Louth? Well, over the last 12 months, property prices have increased, with 415 homes sold. That's on average more than one property per day. Detached houses were selling on average for £230,000, semi-detached properties for £145,000 and terraced houses for £120,000.
People are attracted to this area and Louth in particular from all over the country. Traditional Georgian townhouses mix with more modern homes, countryside retreats and even stately manor homes. It was rumoured at one point that James Bond himself, Daniel Craig, was looking at moving into the area, having visited to have a look around some property.
So, with a good mix of homes and budget options available, let's go meet today's buyers and find out what they're after.
In debates that have no equal sign, and only playing for.
Right, Sandra John, I've brought you to Hubbard's Hills to pick your brains and find out what it is that you're looking for.
We're looking for 4 to 5 bedrooms, land, garaging, somewhere where Sandra's mum can come live with us, somewhere I can run my business from home, somewhere for the dogs, but apart from that, we're not fussy.
An old or new property?
Period style.
Ideally
we would
period,
like
yeah.
fireplaces, and like John said, with land, I'm a keen gardener, so I do love my garden.
Right, let's see what Louth has to offer them.
Fantastic.
When the evening bell strikes up again, they ride from the field.
You've got theatre, you've got music, you've got sport, you've got golf clubs. There's one sitting right next to us here, Louth Golf Club. It's got sports associations, it's got athletics club, it's got cricket, it's got just about everything for anybody. You know, sometimes people say, well, the youngsters say, what is there to do in Louth? There's lots to do in Louth. You've got to go and find it. it's made itself special because it's fought to keep itself special. It's fought the big boys that want to come into the town and change and make it just the same as lots of other towns, and that's what we don't want. We realise we've got to go with the times, we've got to change, but we're not changing, we're not getting rid of our identity. We need to keep our identity. It's what people who've had a sense of place, a sense of pride, have fought for and wanted to keep all of the time. And although we have to accept that we need to have nationals coming into the town, we do not want, for instance, large supermarkets to come and spoil the town, because people come to the town because they want to see what this unique town has got. They like to meander through the streets. They like to see the Georgian buildings. They love the church. They like the cafes and the pubs. And in fact, when we first came to Louth, my husband said, "Oh, we need to live there. It's got more pubs than I've ever seen in any town." It's got lots to offer, and I can see why people would want to move here.
Okay, so as you can see, we're at property number 1. It's out in the country, quite a big family home. There's 1/3 of an acre of land and also a triple garage with this property as well. What are your first initial thoughts?
Very nice, very inviting, and definitely looks like it's in good condition, which is always a plus point for me, because if it's good on the outside, I hope for good things on the inside.
John?
Garage interests me. I'm a car nut. So
There you go, perfect.
got a couple of nice cars, so that's good.
There's bags of parking, isn't there?
Yeah, bags of parking when the family come. So, house looks really, really nice.
Right,
I'll be interested to see what's inside.
come on then, let's have a look.
Thank you.
So as you can see, this is the main lounge area, the living area, neutral.
Yeah, definitely.
Really light in here, and of course this fabulous fireplace, if it's to your
superb.
taste.
Yes, it is indeed. And one of our criteria was to have
Definitely.
an open fire.
Open fires.
So
Yeah.
that's a big plus
Crumpets,
point for us.
toast.
Marshmallows?
Yeah, occasionally.
Quite possibly.
when in the mood.
Yeah, I love the shutters. That's a lovely feature.
On windows
Very
to 3
pleasant.
sides.
Yeah.
Lot of light. Very good.
And really quite a fabulous view as well.
Definitely over the garden. It's
And I
spectacular.
do like the fact that you've got doors here, so you can actually get out to the garden.
Yeah, right, well, let's go and have a little look at the kitchen,
Okay,
see what you think.
smashing.
Are you a cook?
I do like to cook, yes.
Sergeant Cook's I
Right, so you've got your beautiful country kitchen here.
Oh, it's lovely.
Now I spoke
Very
to the
nice.
owner as well, and she said that the table and chairs, if you needed it, and the bench, and also the block could come in if you
Okay.
wanted it.
Right,
Okay.
super.
And a bit of a bonus, because I know you said you like to cook,
I do.
and if you're like me, you want gas.
Absolutely. Mains gas.
There you go.
Oh, joy. Yeah, we've sounded like real townies with the houses we've been looking around,
Yeah.
because we're being told about cesspits, septic tanks, calogas, electric, what's the other one? Oil central heating. And we have to sort of smile sweetly and say, oh, really? But we weren't ready for that. So this is a big plus again.
Yeah. Would you like to go and see upstairs?
I'd love to.
Okay, so this is the master bedroom in the
Oh,
property.
very nice.
Of course, I said
Oh, that's big.
before, yeah, there's 4 or possibly 5 nicely sized rooms in here. I mean, this is definitely the biggest,
Right.
and you've got all your inbuilt storage there as well, and some more round the corner leading into the bathroom.
Okay.
Dual aspects, so you get a lot of light.
You do, and there's
Fantastic.
also a window that's been hidden
yes.
by the wardrobe there. So I suppose it depends on what kind of furniture you have.
What configuration you have.
Yeah, and how you decide to lay it out, because
lots of options.
With the,
That
the
would
amount
change
of
this
clothes that
room.
we have between us, we would make another room a dressing.
but you've got 2 inbuilt.
Oh, that's
not
just
enough.
shoes. Just shoes.
No, not enough. The Imelda Marcos of Milton Keynes I was.
Right, should we go and check out the rest of the rooms?
Ladies?
There's your shed that you can put John in if
Oh,
he's naughty.
fantastic.
Yeah.
it's John's room.
And ta-da!
Oh, this is perfect. It's so lovely, isn't it?
Your own
That is very
orchard.
good. And it's nice and
Again.
secure, and it's great for the dogs,
Another
which is super.
lovely surprise.
The
It's
grandkids
so
would love this,
nice.
actually.
And
So-
perfect for your dogs?
Yeah, it's got lots of trees. Dogs like trees.
They do, but it's having a safe place for the dogs
No,
is
absolutely,
really nice.
which is very
you know.
important because they're not the sort of dogs that tend to do as they're told.
No, they're a bit naughty. They do
Yeah.
like to run away. But no, this is absolutely lovely. Really, really nice.
It's
And
good. We're just dreadful.
yeah, there are just surprises round every bend with this
Oh, it's
garden,
super.
aren't there?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
It's almost like
Love
a
it.
little. It's like a magical garden,
You're
isn't it?
absolutely right. Yeah, it is. Very magical.
Okay, so what's your guesstimate for the property?
I would have to say, given other things that we've looked at, I'd say this is around the sort of 350 mark.
350, right?
Yeah.
This is my not giving away anything
No,
face.
okay. I mean, that's not
I was
based
gonna
on
say
like.
it.
Yeah, I think
Um,
we're probably both on the same page because not based on like the
No.
condition of the house or anything else, but
350,
kind of size and amount of land.
375 with the land.
Okay, so bearing in mind you've got a third of an acre of land, it's 4 to 5 big bedrooms
Yeah, true.
with the
Triple garage.
extension,
Yeah.
and you've also got the
And the
triple
man
garage,
cave.
which is not it is massive.
Yes, true. Yes.
It is actually on the market for 395,000.
Which, you know,
Yeah, it's
is
not
a
bad.
reasonable amount.
It's in
you
your
know, I
budget?
think. Yeah, it's definitely within our budget. And like I say, given the condition of the house, that's for me a big plus because we've seen some quite dilapidated buildings and they want the top money for it. So, yeah, it's certainly still a consideration, even at that price. It's definitely worth it for what you get for your money. I mean, this in itself is just such
But
a
like
plus.
everybody, I'm sure they're negotiable.
From the field like gallant, heroic, uneducated men, 'cause they've seen it all and talked before.
Property Hotspots, brought to you by Lavelle Estate Agency. Property Hotspots, brought to you by Lavelle Estate Agency.
There's another reason that Louth is an attractive place for people to come from all over the UK: schooling. Within the area, there are 3 strong performing secondary schools: Cordo Academy, Monk's Dyke Tennyson College and King Edward VI Grammar School. Couple that with a countryside setting and it's perfect for anybody wanting to escape the hustle and bustle of city life and bring up their family.
Certainly you can get a lot more for your money. And with a good broad range of property types on the market, there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Before I catch up with our home buyers and check out property number 2, I think it's time to explore a little bit more of Louth's history.
Back in 1536, in this church, the Lincolnshire Rising, which was a movement against Henry VIII, began. The reason for the uprising was to protest against the suppression of Catholic religious houses, not Henry VIII himself. Even though, at this point, the king had seized the church's assets in England and declared himself the supreme head of the Church of England. The rising started at St James's Church in Louth, shortly after the closing of Louth Park Abbey. It's not the only claim to fame St James's Church has, though, with it being home to the tallest medieval parish church spire in England, which gives some fantastic views across the whole town.
The spire that you can see is just 500 years old last year, but the building goes back a lot longer than that. Last year we found probably the oldest bit of stonework that we found, which goes back well over 1,000 years to the 10th century, an Anglo-Saxon cross that was found just in the garden here. So it goes back a long, long way, and possibly a little bit further than that to the very first Christian community that was here on this site. One of the key bits of the history was the Lincolnshire Rising, and every morning after I come out from morning prayer, I'm reminded by the blue pluck that was started off by a sermon that one of my predecessors preached on a Sunday as Henry VIII's sort of religious reforms were coming into effect, and the local people were afraid that their local churches and the treasures were going to be taken away from them, so they rose up, and I suppose that the rest is history, as it were, but it started with a sermon here. You see the church almost from any angle in Louth, but the town is full of character and variety. There's a huge variety in the town, and the heart is perhaps kept all of that character from a couple of centuries ago and retained its vitality and vibrancy. So as well as the local people who visit and shop here, people from further afield find there's a lot for them as well.
Our home buyers are looking for a 4 to 5 bed period property with land, garages and loads of space. They've seen property number 1 and they absolutely loved it. Let's hope I'm as lucky with property number 2.
Your honey jar.
Okay, so this is property number 2. Now, it's very deceiving. It's, of course, very different to property number 1.
I was about to say very different, yeah.
A townhouse,
Yeah.
but it's still 4 nicely sized bedrooms.
Okay.
You've got a southern facing roof terrace up there. You've got allocated 2 parking spaces here in the shared car park, but in the middle of town.
Yeah.
No, that's very
The
good.
location is
plus.
amazing.
Yes.
So thoughts?
A bit odd not to have a garden, but a roof terrace is very quaint.
Yes.
So it's certainly worth a look, because the benefit of being in the centre of town as a non-driver is great for me.
And I think you might be pleasantly surprised
Okay.
by the inside.
It's very unusual, very different. And being married to Sandra, I like different.
I think that was a compliment. So this would be your main living area.
Okay.
Very nice.
It's very grand, isn't it?
It is very
It is,
much
yeah.
welcome to Downton.
Yes.
As you say, it's very deceptive. I wasn't expecting this at all. So often we've looked at houses where they've completely ripped the guts out of it, haven't they? And the period features have gone, and that's such a shame. So this is a really lovely surprise.
Does it come with a butler?
We can arrange it.
Okay, fine.
Considering we're in the middle of town as well, your
Yeah.
view's pretty spectacular.
I have to agree with you. I mean, you would not think that you were in the centre of town looking out of that window. It's a lovely view, isn't it?
Super.
Quite picturesque, actually.
Okay. Well
Pleasantly
done.
surprised?
Yeah, you win on this one.
Yes.
Oh, I love
You
being
are
right. This is a kitchen that is light and airy and lovely, but it's also a kitchen that leads outside to your roof terrace. So your al fresco continued
Yes,
from
that
property
is very
1.
nice, isn't it? Yeah, it is very nice. Again, you know, it's a surprise. I would never have expected a kitchen this size
No, not at all.
in this property from the outside. Very, very deceptive.
When you first showed us from the outside, it's like, well, how big is this place?
I could see you looking at me as
I
if
know,
I was
it's all
crazy.
crackers, especially after what we've just seen with so much space. But the rooms are comparable, aren't they, in size? So
Upstairs?
definitely.
Upstairs with 2 rooms.
So this is one of 4 bedrooms. This would be the master bedroom.
This is very big.
Okay.
I love this.
Yeah.
And you've got your nice fireplace there.
Yes, that's lovely.
Little feature.
Definitely, and especially if they're open as well. Very romantic to have an open fire in the
Very
bedroom.
nice. Then.
Lovely space for nice big wardrobes, so that's really good. And there's more chunky furniture there, so it's
Beautiful amount of light comes in as well.
yeah, it is. It's very bright. It's lovely, lovely big sash window.
Okay.
So yeah, I really like it. Really nice room.
Oh, I'm loving this
So
positivity.
far, so good.
Perfect. What are your thoughts on this second property?
It's lovely.
You go.
There's no denying that it is a lovely property. Very grand. It's got lovely features, but it's definitely not one for me. Firstly, I don't like the roof terrace. I thought I might, but I don't like the roof terrace. And there is no garden, and I couldn't function without a garden.
It's a fabulous property, but not our property.
Now, I am interested though, I'm intrigued. What do you think this is on the market for? Because I think it's important to be able to have that comparison between the 2
Yeah.
properties.
I think with the security and the parking, you know, outside space, centre of town, I'd say it's got to be about 295.
I would have thought about 320.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
And the reason why, because you've got secured parking.
Yeah,
And
but you don't
are-
have any land.
But you kind of don't expect
You
that
either
in the
love
centre of
land or you
town,
don't. There's a lot of
you
people
know.
that are not interested in gardens, not interested in land. This is a perfect place to be. You're in the
Yeah,
middle
I think
of town.
if you're a professional, it's
And I think
it's a lovely
professionals
place.
are prepared to pay more money.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's actually on the market for £270,000.
Wow, yes, I am.
Okay?
Definitely.
Yeah, I am surprised.
Yeah, you're getting an awful lot for your money for that, but it still doesn't have a garden, so it still won't get my vote. No, it's not for us.
And it doesn't have the triple garage, does it?
No,
It doesn't have the
most
triple
definitely
garage, so I'm feeling the love for the property this morning.
not. Yeah, I think we are feeling the love of that one, definitely.
Afraid so.
Louth has got something to offer everybody, I think. You know, whether it's a young family looking for the excellent schooling, you've got, you know, the grammar school quite close by, which has big intake, and that draws a lot of people into Louth. You've got Hubbard Hills, great for families in the summer, you know, dog walkers, things like that. And also people who want to retire as well, you know. They tend to look towards the coastal villages and want to be by the sea. In the last 12 months in Louth, we opened here in January, so the market for us, there's been a big upturn in the market. Property prices have increased by just under 5% in the last 12 months, and you know, property has been selling very, very quickly in the Louth area.
So you've seen both properties. Now let's go back over it. Property 1,
Yeah,
what did you think?
beautiful. Yeah, really lovely. We are quite taken with it, and we do think that we need to go back and investigate that one a bit more, because it did offer an awful lot, and it had an awful lot of things that were on our list of must-haves.
I love the garaging. I love the fact that you could possibly build an annex. The house itself has been extended nicely. Couldn't really fault it, to be fair.
No,
Can you see yourselves putting an offer on it?
quite possibly, yeah. I think so. I think we need to have a good look round,
Yes.
and you know, go over the grounds again. But yeah, that's quite a possible.
We certainly, I think, it would be a good idea if we go back and have a look.
I've got the feeling that number 2 property, you're not going to have a second viewing on that.
We won't have a second viewing. If it was a couple on their own, if it was just Sandra and I, and we didn't have
Yeah.
mum-in-law, or we didn't really have
For us, for
football
our
team
family, it
of
wouldn't
children.
work as a family home.
it may work, but no, and certainly not with the dogs. And to be honest with you, I didn't really like that garden upstairs.
The roof
It was a bit-
terrace. Yeah. It's a stunning property, and it, as you said, it's very deceptive from the outside. It's huge on the inside, but we've got grandchildren now, we've got the dogs, and I couldn't live without a garden.
Okay, so 1 hit and 1 miss. That's okay, I'm all right with that. Louth, as an area, as a town to come and live in or around, what do you think of it?
We love it, really taken with it. You know, the architecture, walking around, great for shopping, and then we come here and
Yep.
you've got this lovely riverside to sit by and everything you can walk to. It's
Perfect to
really,
walk the
really
dogs.
good. Yeah, look, we'll definitely be having more days out here. It's been really lovely.
What a great day. 2 happy buyers and a beautiful area. What more do you need? Join us next time on Property Hotspots.
Property Hotspots, brought to you by Lavelle Estate Agency.